37% on threes this year, third best mark in the NBA, trailing only Atlanta and Chicago. And thanks largely to P.J. Tucker and Duncan Robinson, Miami has made 281 corner threes. That is by far the most in the NBA. We'll see them in about 10 minutes here on ESPN. The Heat are second in the East behind only the Bulls, who were riding the ridiculously hot hand of Demar Derozan. He dropped 37 last night, including that game winner with under 20 seconds left. He now has 8 straight games with 35 points, 7th player to do that in NBA history. And not only that, during the stretch and overall the entire season, DeRozan has been unbelievable from mid-range. 7.2 made two-pointers outside the restricted area. I ask you guys, who was the last player to do that for an entire season? The answer, Michael Jeffrey Jordan for the Wizards.
Wow.
In 01-02
They got that.
is the last player to do it. And for any Bull to put themselves in the same discussion with Michael, even if he wasn't a Bull at the time, obviously means something special. So, Michael Wilbon, right this minute, who was the front runner for MVP?
Last time we did a show, I said I would have voted that night for Chris Paul 1, Joel Embiid 2, and DeMar DeRozan 3. That's 10 days ago. Right now, tonight, I can't separate Embiid and DeRozan, except that DeRozan's team is in first place for what it matters, maybe 3 games ahead of Philly. I'll go DeRozan 1. Chris Paul, sadly, is not going to be in the conversation. I'm going to go DeRozan and Embiid. The Bulls have had more absences and injured games missed than any of the top 10 teams in the Eastern Conference. DeRozan has kept that afloat. Even when Zach LaVine, his tag team partner, has been in and out of the lineup the last 10 games. So I can go DeRozan on a tiebreaker. I know it's fluid. Embiid has been great. But why has Embiid been greater than DeRozan with this three? When you're on a list that has got 2 names, Michael Jordan and Wilt, that's dropped the mic. That is drop the mic. Embiid's not playing better than that.
And I want to add to Stephen A's look on his face and some of the misery.
I see that side eye.
To the fact that
over there.
The Lakers and the Knicks could have had DeMar DeRozan.
Ooh, the Lakers.
How about that?
Hometown.
Let me just say that out loud. People forgetting that. I think it's equal between Joel and DeRozan. But a lot of this award has to do with perception. So as James Harden enters the lineup tonight, it's going to be perceived that DeMar DeRozan is doing more with less, and he's averaging 28 on the #1 seed. And I got to remind everybody, Philly was actually the #1 seed in the East last season.
True. Are you all right? You okay over here, Stephen A?
I just thought that I was working with a bunch of people. I mean, Greeny started off the show mentioning the Knicks.
My bad, my brother. They could have had him.
And Wilbon is chanting, we here, we here. I mean, it's just a bad night. But I will say this. I got this tissue because I'm getting emotional right now because I expected my man Wilbon to put on his pom-poms. And the fact that he did not sit up there and elevate DeMar DeRozan, I am shocked. But I will tell you this, he is right. But in the same breath, because Joel Embiid has been great, DeMar DeRozan has been something special, man. And to do it in Chicago, in the house that MJ built, wearing the Chicago Bulls uniform, with Zach LaVine injured but playing, with other guys like Caruso and Lonzo Ball and them have been out, is significant. But here's the thing that I want everybody to remember. He was in Toronto. His only crime was he couldn't beat LeBron.
Yep.
They were winning 57, 58, 59 games a year. They moved him. The same time they got Kawhi Leonard, obviously, in the trade. That's when LeBron left the East. And I feel bad for him and Dwayne Casey because I think they both should be champions today because they would have been under the same exact conditions if they were in a place of Kawhi Leonard with LeBron having left the East and KD being injured in the finals and then Klay Thompson going down too. DeMar DeRozan will be a champion. He is special, and he deserves a lot of credit.
Well, maybe he'll win the MVP, and maybe he'll win a championship in Chicago.
We'll
wait and see.
That
Doesn't sound as crazy.
Love that.
There's your guy, Kyle Lowry. He's playing great.
Kyle Lowry. It's Kyle Lowry.
A magnificent season. Lowry and the Heat taking on the Knicks just a few minutes from now, counting it down to the NBA on ESPN.
NBA Countdown is presented by...
Including 12 points in the fourth quarter and 5 points in the final minute to lead the Bulls to a 112-108 victory over the Atlanta Hawks. DeRozan has become the 7th player in NBA history to score 35 points in 8 straight games and the first since James Harden in 2019. Stephen A., you've been hot on DeRozan, but can he win MVP?
He most certainly can.
Okay.
I have DeMar DeRozan neck and neck with Joel Embiid at this particular moment in time. You talking about 7 straight games of over 35 points. We talking about the brother averaging over 30 scoring over 30 over the last 9 games. I'm looking at the standings here. Ladies and gentlemen, the Milwaukee Bucks are not in first place. The Brooklyn Nets are not in first place. The Philadelphia 76ers are not in first place. The Miami Heat are not in first place. The Eastern Conference participant, Atlanta Hawks, are not in first place. The team in first place in the Eastern Conference is the Chicago Bulls. And the team with the second best record, I mean, overall, they've got like the third best record, okay? Or the 4th best record because Phoenix, Golden State, and Memphis, percentage-wise, has a better record. And then there's Chicago Bulls. They're the number 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. If the playoffs were to begin today, like KP says, the road to the finals must go through the United Center. I will remind everybody that this guy, DeMar DeRozan, is doing this in the house that MJ built. MJ, Michael Jordan, they got a statue outside of the United Center. That is where DeMar DeRozan is doing this. And by the way, he is doing stuff that even the great Derrick Rose, when he was healthy, because Derrick Rose was something special. I still love him. That's one of the reasons the Knicks are struggling right now, because they haven't had him. But the point is, Derrick Rose, when he was in Chicago and healthy, was on another level. And he still wasn't this. Zach LaVine, who's one of my favorite players, okay, I think he's a showstopper. A matter of fact, I would not have said what I said about that deplorable atrocity that was the slam dunk contest Saturday. I would have said nothing like that if Zach LaVine was in it, okay, because we know what that brother can do, all right? This brother is on the same team, and he's been dealing with some injuries. And DeMar DeRozan has held them up and then some. I want to announce to the basketball world, we look at Joel Embiid. I had him number 1. Jokic is not somebody to dismiss or whatever, but I am telling y'all right now, nobody, and I do mean no one, can be definitively placed ahead of DeMar DeRozan for league MVP honors. He is doing his thing.
Well, Stephen A., it just doubles down on your point when you said about this season being one of the best seasons of all time. It's because of the play of guys like Joel Embiid, DeMar DeRozan, Jokic, Ja Morant, all those guys who's mentioned in the MVP conversation. And I said this last month on NBA Today. Look, this is one of those seasons where it's going to go every 2 weeks. We're going to have a different MVP front runner because guys are balling like that. But when it comes